One sign that always tells me that winter is just around the corner is when I see Orion slowly rising in the east. But apart from cold winter nights and chattering teeth at the telescope, the winter skies can bring some really nice targets into view. And one of them is today's target, M41 the Little Beehive cluster. Hello, welcome to my channel, Small Optics. My name is Jason. Now, in the summer, we are greeted with the Beehive cluster, M44, one of my favourite clusters. But we kind of lose it in the summer. But as winter approaches, we're greeted to M41, its smaller sibling, the Beehive cluster. Now, M44 and M41 are in no way related. It's just that M41, the Little Beehive cluster, resembles a smaller version of M44. Now, as I've already mentioned, the dominant constellation in our winter skies has got to be Orion. Now, closely following Orion and rising in the east at this time of year, which is November at the time of recording this video, you'll find Sirius. Now, Sirius is the dog star in Kansas Major, or Canis Major, however you want to pronounce it. And Sirius is unmistakable. It's often mistaken for all kinds of things, from helicopters, meteors, even UFOs from time to time. And that's purely because it's the brightest star in our night sky. Really easy to find. Like I say, this time of year you want to be looking low in the east, and as the year goes on, as the winter months go on, Sirius will slowly move across to the sky, to the south. Now, like I say, it's a very bright star, and it seems to flash multicolored. So if you've ever wondered, this time of year, what that multicolored flashing star is, it's more than likely Sirius that you're looking at. And now, this multicolored flashing that's happening in Sirius is not actually happening on the star itself. It's due to it being so bright and so low down at the horizon, and it's just a combination of atmospheric disturbances and refractions of light, of starlight, and all kinds of things that throw into the equation. And this is what gives it this amazing multicolored twinkling effect. Now, Sirius is about 8.6 light years away, fair old journey, and is actually twice the size of our sun, but it's 25 times more luminous than our sun. So why am I going on about Sirius when this video is about M41, the Little Beehive cluster? Well, it's because Sirius is such an easy star to find for a start, and it's a perfect starting point for today's target, M44. Because if you find Sirius, you've virtually found M44. So here's exactly how to find it. First of all, like I say, this time of year you want to be looking south, southeast for a very bright star quite low down to the horizon that's twinkling multicolored. Now, M44 lies roughly about 4 degrees south of Sirius. Now, in a past video, I've done videos on how to measure the sky with your hands. And I suggest, if you don't know this method, that you go and learn this method, because it's incredibly useful. Out of all the techniques I learned in astronomy, measuring the night sky, doing different hand gestures with your hand, you do a fist, you can do this as another measurement, and all these sizes will be degrees of measurement when held at arm's length, and you hold them up to the sky. So you're going to hear me refer to degrees quite a lot when it comes to finding targets, and then referring to this hand measuring system. So if you have heard me say this, I apologise for repeating myself, but obviously some people may have never heard of measuring the sky with your hands. So like I say, Sirius, you find Sirius, and roughly 4 degrees below Sirius south, so south of Sirius, is M41. So the way you would do this, I'll tell you what, I hope this isn't going to be too bright for the camera. Now, even though this isn't multicolored, this looks more like Vega than it does Sirius. But imagine that here in my hands is Sirius, okay? And imagine this is up in the sky. So if I was to, now, if you were to hold up, do the scout sign, okay, if you like the Scouts Honour sign, 3 fingers is roughly 5 degrees, okay? So so we've got Sirius here, okay, and what you would do, you would hold everything up at arm's length and bring so your first finger would hit the bottom of Sirius like that, okay, and where it hits your ring finger, that is roughly 5 degrees. So now you know exactly where or how far you've got to point your telescope. Now, whenever you're searching for things in the night sky using this measuring technique with your fingers, it's always a good idea to use what I call the binocular technique. Now, this simply means when you're using binoculars, the way to use binoculars whenever you want to look or find anything, to save any of this, okay, what I call fishing around for the target, it's always a good idea to keep your eyes fixed on the target. Okay, so in other words, if that's Sirius there, over there, okay, I would stare at Sirius. I wouldn't then take my eyes off Sirius and look at my binoculars, okay? My gaze would be fixed on Sirius, and I'd bring the binoculars up to my eyes this way. Now, you're going to hit the target a lot more, 95% a hit rate, doing it this way than just going, all right, it's somewhere over there, right, and then just having that little glance back down to your binoculars, is not the way to do it. So you want to incorporate this technique at the telescope, okay? Now, there's no point in doing all this measuring away from your telescope. So you stood here, you find Sirius, and you go, okay, it's right 4 degrees. So you hold your hands up like this, and then go, right. Can you see the instant mistake you've made? You're now going to be fishing. So it's always a good idea to get your telescope ready. So, right, you know that this is Sirius, as in this example, okay? Now, this doesn't just apply to find the little Beehive cluster. This is for any nighttime target, that's any deep sky targets especially. So, you've found Sirius, let's say, find it, and then when you've got something like a dominant star as a target to hop from to find another target, get it in your finder scope, okay, whether it's an optical or a red dot, it doesn't matter. Okay, so get it in your finder scope. There, so we've got Sirius now. So we've now combated off the battle, if you get what I mean, okay? So now do the measuring here, where you would be at the focuser. So now I would get my fingers, I'd bring them up right near the focuser, so the line of sight. Then I'd get Sirius, then I'd do that technique where once I've done an imaginary dot in the sky below my, so it's hitting my ring finger, okay, Sirius is on the top here, this is where M41's going to be. I never take my eye off that point of the sky, okay? So I've got it, I've done the measurement here. I now move over to the finder, all right, because you always keep both eyes open when using a finder, so I can still keep that spot gazed, and now I bring the dot or the crosshair to the target this way. And you see now how much of the battle you've just beat just by doing this simple thing. And it's always a good idea to practice these techniques when you're out observing under the night sky. Because when you're new to the hobby, you're using new equipment, you're fumbling about in the dark. So learning these little tips and tricks on the way, and it'll be just second nature to you. And it'll feel so wrong to do any measuring away from the actual thing that's going to be finding it for you, whether that's binocular technique or a finder technique. So that's just a little tip to make it a little bit easier when using your hands for measuring and finding objects in the night sky. Now, before I wrap this one up, I just want to mention that there is one downside to the Beehive M41, the little Beehive, is that it never climbs very high. It always stays, with it being south of Sirius, and Sirius is like a dominant winter through the winter months. It never gets very high. So the best time from now, as recording this video, November time, you want to be out there around about 2 a.m. okay, is when Sirius or the M44 is going to be at its highest. And then as the months go on, just take away 2 hours basically. So in December next month, by the end of December, it's going to be round about midnight. Okay, is the best time to view M41. In January, we're talking round about 10 p.m. Okay, and just keep knocking off. Now we'll lose Sirius and M41 towards the end of March. So if you're watching this now in November, there's still plenty of time to see M41. Well, there you go, folks. Another target for you to find. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's much appreciated, especially that like button. It helps the channel massively. In the meantime, guys, take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.